So here we've got Gus. He's trying out a new lower bar position after starting out with a high bar squat. Here he is doing 60. You'll notice as the reps go on, the depth gradually gets better, but again, as I say, new to this technique, so it's to be expected while he's learning the ropes. So the first one was a touch high, the second one a bit better, and the third one was fine. It's gone up to 100 here. You notice he's starting to have an issue with unracking it just because it's lower down on his back, so he has to lift it higher to get off the rack. So perhaps in future put them one hook lower. And again you'll notice the first one just above depth, second one much better, third one better still. And up to 110 now. And 120 now. You'll notice on the second and third rep, when you're starting to meet your sticking point, the bar path will travel forward ever so slightly, and this is due to the lower bar position, especially with a narrower stance, because you're using the hips as a hinge more, and thus incorporating more muscles. So essentially, in the long run, you will have a more powerful squat from it. Can have the tendency to tilt forward, but you manage to bring it back fine. So for the time being, not something to worry about too much. So on to Lou now. He's starting out with his first working set at 180. You'll notice they're slightly high here, and that was intentional. He's trying to cut a bit off his depths just so that he's not going deeper than he needs to be and doing more work than he needs to be. After realising it was slightly high, fixes it for this set. This is 190. To 200 now. Slightly loses his line on that first one and tucks forward a bit, but brings it back. And then powers through for a grinder of a second rep. Very nice. So onto my squats now. I'm just using 140 and doing pause doubles just while I'm working through a couple of injuries, and with a couple of variations to my form lately, I seem to have lost a lot of control in and out of the hole just above and below it, so I'm doing these pauses just to try and have control throughout the movement basically. I'm also trying a slightly wider stance just because I've been having some ankle mobility issues. So this is a very foreign approach to me, but it felt pretty good. It stops my hips shooting back quite so badly, which is usually where I'm going wrong.
Oh, bro. Oh yeah. Too big for shirts.
So here we've got Gus. I only managed to video one of his sets. This is 110. He goes for 3 touch and go reps. So just loses the line slightly on that last one. And here's Greg. Again, I only managed to get one set of his. He's been having some shoulder issues for a while, so you'll notice he's struggling to get his grip even here. And now we've got Lou with his top working set of a pause double at 115. He's been focusing on keeping his lower body tight, just so that he's got a stable base, and you'll notice there, really explosive off his chest, just because he's getting efficient leg drive from keeping all of his body engaged. And on to my sets. So this is 120, just pause for a single. I've been experimenting with a wider grip again. I've gone considerably closer for a while now, and although I felt a lot more stable with it, my triceps have started to suffer. I've just been a bit inflamed, so I brought it back out, and felt surprisingly good. So here's 125. Again, just put a single. So here's Gus with 175. He goes for a double on. Very smart here by completely resetting and going again, treating it as a fresh rep. And up to 180, bearing in mind he's weighing 63 kilos, so closing in on triple body weight, which is damn impressive. Makes it look easy. And now Lou, starting off with his first working set at 190. And up to 210 now, I believe. And up for his final set at 230.
Feels like he's wearing nothing at all.
So here's my first one at 170. I worked up with a double overhand grip up to this point, just because I've been having issues with my left shoulder, which is the hand that I pronate when I do alternating grip, so I've had to avoid that for a while. You'll notice just as I finished this, my grip starts to give out, but came off the floor quick enough, which was all I cared about really. Just wanted to see how it felt on the way up. So I switched to an alternating grip for my next two. I've also started changing my approach. Usually I'd go down, grip the bar, set my hips in place, get everything tight, and then go from there. I just noticed when I was doing that, where I'd spent too long faffing around at the bottom, and by the time I was ready to go, I'd have already half emptied my lungs from oxygen, and I'd just be pulling inefficiently. So you'll notice now I'll kind of get set with a good foot position on the bar, grab it and just go for it, which I'm finding is working a lot better for me. I've also started intentionally pulling with a rounded back, just because I'm incredibly weak off the floor. If I get one off the floor, I know I'm going to finish it mentally as soon as it starts moving. I've got it really. So although it's making the lockout trickier, and they might not look like pretty reps, it seems to be working a lot better for me than my previous approach. So here is 190, which is a 10 kilo PB for me. Not an impressive number by any means, but I have always struggled with deadlifts, so I'm pretty chuffed with the way these have been coming up, especially with the speed off the floor. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it's been entertaining and educational. Let me know what you think about whether you want me to continue commentating throughout the video or just leave it with music or anything. I'm just using a cheap Tesco mic at the moment, so obviously not the best sound quality. And feel free to go check out Dynamite Gym and Dynamite Powerlifting Club Facebook pages. Appreciate it if you could give them a like. Thanks, bye.